What's up, my loves and fellow creatives? Excuse me. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat. I don't have my camera on right now because I am cozy in my robe with my little cricket bun on top of my head, and I'm in design mode. And like I said, I'm doing something tonight that I have never done before. I'm actually going to prep and do work, and you can watch me work. You can ask me questions as I'm preparing for this kids party design challenge, where we'll be doing not only banners, backdrops, but party favors and all of the things in between, including motion graphics so that you can do motion invitations and even the videos that play before they're introduced and come out onto the stage or into the party scene. So we're going to be touching on that, all of those things this week, on how you can make money and be creative with AI and your design tools. So I'm excited to help you all do that. In the process, I got to get some work done and get y'all ready. So let me see if you all can hear me. Yes. Awesome. Cool. So I'm going to do this wicked theme. I'm actually addressing a design I did almost a year ago that I didn't really get to put to use. And I want to update it. I want to make it into basically a kids party because the Wicked movie For Good is coming out, and I know that that will be trending. So I want to show you all kind of my process and my work as I go along. Like I said, I'll be checking in on the chat to see if you all have any questions or anything. Feel free to share this live. Tell your folks to join on in with us so that they can see what's going on as well. Ask questions. Typically, I only do that kind of thing when we're in the Zoom room with my Platinum VIP community. However, tonight I'm feeling a little generous, and I also feel like I want to hear what you all want to learn. I want to get back to touching the ground upon which I started, which is really just helping out people on YouTube figure out what the heck to do next with design so that you're not afraid. You come out confident, you can charge what your worth is, and you can actually grow this as a business and stop thinking that it's a hobby. It's really a business. This is a true talent and skill that you all have, and you're investing your time and energy into honing it. So I'm definitely going to make sure that I don't let you down. All right. So right now what I'm doing, I'll show you what I've done so far. Just started this a few minutes because I didn't want to just have a dry start. Let's show you what I've been working on so far. I've been using a custom GPT to come up with some descriptions for photo shoot and dressing and styling. And I was comparing the Chat GPT output to the output with Nano Banana, which is one of Google's image generators. Now, this one is more of an image editor. So as I'm doing this, I want you to think I have a workflow here. And I promise y'all, when we do the in-person classes, the reason why it seems so condensed and like concise for you all is because I do it. It takes me hours to do it. And then I figure out how to truncate it down into a 1-hour class. So I don't want y'all thinking it's that easy to come up with it, but it is that easy to apply it once the blueprint has been laid out for you. So I want you to know that just because it may only take you 5 minutes to flip a template, or it may only take you 5 minutes to generate these AI images, that's not what people are paying for. They're not paying you for your 5 minutes. They're paying you for the hours upon hours that you spend really honing your craft. So please don't let time be the determining factor of what you charge. If anything, if it takes you less time to do it, you should be charging more because you're that experienced that you can get it done in an efficient manner. So you charge for that speed and you charge for that hassle-free that you offer your clients. Okay, I do the same thing. All right, so let me see. I started off in Midjourney with the prompt where the reason why I get my image from Midjourney is because I feel like it gives me better models to start with. ChatGPT not so much. And then the Nano Banana is more of an image editor. It doesn't do the best with creating images from scratch. Google has another program called Imagine, or some people say Imagen, but I think it's Imagine. And it does create images, but I still prefer my Midjourney portraits for my models. So you'll find out once you start doing this. Another reason why you want to charge accordingly is because you will have invested in a lot of different tools, y'all. I have Midjourney. I have a paid version of ChatGPT. I have paid versions of upscalers like Topaz. That was another thing that I did. I took her face and I upscaled it in a program called Topaz Photo. And now Topaz is asking me for some more money. He said in 8 days, I'm going to have the old version unless I pay them some more money. Look, they extorted me. 7 days remaining. So I probably will update this one. This will be my second update. What it does is you just stop at the latest version of the program, which, of course, if you're talking about AI image upscaling, you're never going to want to not have the updated version. So, of course, I'm probably going to pay for this. They know it. That's why they made this subscription based. But that was my senior image there. I just want to show you what upscaling does. Now, this image was upscaled already by Midjourney. And I'm going to kind of zoom out a little bit so you can see a little less details. But it is a good quality for it being upscaled already in Midjourney. But if I want to use this, let's say I want to print out life-size images. I want to do those big standees where they're 6 and 8 feet tall and they've got her photo on them. I do this with all images, even if people don't know that I do this. All my images that I get that people want me to design 4 foot or larger, I upscale every photo. I don't play about it. You may not be able to tell now, but when they get it printed and they see it in person, they're like, oh my gosh, this looks amazing. What did you do to it? That's the sauce that I charge for. Okay. So I'm just letting you know, build that into your pricing, but also you're going to wow your customers and they're going to look at it like, okay, well, I never got anything that clean from an artist before. So I want to stick with her. She impresses not just me, but my clients. So when you have party planners and people relying on you and you exceed their expectations, this is what you want to build those relationships on. But you can see that it does smooth the skin out a little bit here, but it also gives some more realistic details here in the hair of the eyebrows. Sometimes you can even check like the little baby hairs and stuff. Let's let it finish generating here so we can see. I get a little more definition in the hairs here. So when it prints so much more beautifully because it has more detail embedded into it. Now, I already exported that. I just want to show you, some of the process that I do go through when I'm doing this. And this is actually, y'all, AI class number 79 that I went back to. Why? Because we have 90 AI classes. And this is our last class that we had was our last class that we're doing inside of the Midjourney Discord, because I found out that Midjourney only allows you to have access to 100 rooms or 100 servers before they ask you to pay more money. And I don't want y'all to pay more money. I don't want you to have to pay for Discord or anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all how to develop these in the Midjourney app online. And then also with that, I'm going to be showing you, well, don't just make these things just for yourself and for your printed goods. Now that we're taking it outside of the Discord server, I want you to be thinking about how you can sell these assets, how you can sell these as stock art, how you can sell these as clip art packs. So we're going to talk about that during the challenge as well. But like I said, I'm pulling all my thoughts and my ideas together so that I can give you all an over-the-top experience like we usually do for the challenge. And just out of curiosity, anybody here in Craft to Quit? If so, go ahead and put C2Q in the chat, because I know you all will be in the challenge. Y'all don't miss a challenge. Once I gave y'all the challenge for free, instead of having y'all pay for it, I'm going to tell you what happened. Number one, I lost about anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 a month income. Let me tell y'all that much. But it's because I wanted the Craft to Quit program to be the most elite and premier design program that we've ever seen. So I do not regret it. But I did make an option for those who want to join the challenge, who are not in the Craft to Quit program. If you want to join the challenge, let me know and I'll share the link. It used to be $297. It's only $97. You get 4 days of time with me, where from Monday to Thursday, you get me from 8 to 10, and we are going in. Like, this isn't a watch me work and maybe you'll be successful. It is hands-on, work with me, have a finished project by the end of each and every class that we do. All right, I see you, Tracy. What's good? Swan, Jennifer, Ernie. Okay, what's good, Octavius? I see you. All right, Ventrisa. The VIPD, I love that. Anita says, C2Q, there's nothing out there like it. You better tell them for the one time. Naisha, how you doing, love? Octavius, come on over. Ty Craft to quit. Come on. We need some more male influence. Let's just put it that way. And we need your expertise. You have all the expertise in photography, especially sports photography. We just finished up our sports challenge and we did it all with AI and stuff. I know you would bring some great insight to the community. All right. So, all right, where I am right now, I created my model once, right? Then what I did was I'm bringing her over to Gemini right now because I want to generate some different poses of her. Why? Because a lot of times when we're doing things like birthday invitations, when we're doing large scale graphics for like the parties and even the motion graphics, I need to have different images of the same person. Now, this was very difficult to do before. We actually have several classes on other ways that I did this before Nano Banana came out, and this was just within the last week or so. So now I'm able to use the Nano Banana in order to, and sometimes it doesn't do their face exactly, y'all. You have to kind of pay attention. But I'm using this in order to ask for different poses of her. So I want a 3/4 left portrait. So 3/4 is where they kind of turn to the side, but still looking forward. And then I said, well, give me one where she's not smiling, because a lot of times if you do face swapping or you do images, you need an image where they're not smiling or else it looks odd. So I went ahead and got an image of her not smiling from that 3/4 view. Then I asked her to have her do 3/4 to the other side, but doing a subtle change in expression. So it has her doing like a look away. And then I said, okay, well, maybe there's one where I want to do like, hey, announcing, I'm excited, it's my party. So then I asked for her to look shocked with her hands on her face. Okay. And now what I'm doing is I'm kind of getting into, I don't know if y'all can see what I'm doing here. I want to do a double shoot. Like I want her to be Elphaba and I also want her to be Glinda, right? So I'm going to have her in pink and then I'm going to have her in green. Can y'all see where I'm going with this? So I want some images where she can be looking like she's looking at herself, but as the two characters. Okay, maybe I'm getting a little too carried away. Maybe I'm getting a little too excited, but y'all want it behind the scenes, right? Y'all want to see how I really work behind the scenes. This is what I be doing, y'all. Too much. All right, and if you team too much too, then hey, give me a 100 in the chat. Let me know I'm not alone. All right, so now I'm putting in prompts like, hey, she's looking to the right as if she's feeling proud and safe with her loving best friend. So basically I want to have an image where she can look left and right. And she's basically in the position to look like she's two different characters. All right. So let me see if I have what I've downloaded so far. Okay. So I got my left and my right. Boop, boop, boop. I got my surprise. Did I get them all? Let's see here. Left, right. Yep, I got them all. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I haven't tried this yet, so y'all get to see me do it in real time. Let's make it happen, Captain. All right, so what I want to do here is I want to use the, nope. And it's going to give me the aspect ratio. So I need to put this image in last. So I'm going to upload her image. So I'm going to say, use the image of the girl to take on the character on the left and right. And I'm going to tell it to keep the styling of the costumes. And now I may not do this because this is Wicked, so we're gonna see. Keep the styling of the costumes as close as possible. I'm not gonna say, because it may tell me, oh, I can't do that because it's licensed, but we'll see. As close as possible. Styling of the costumes and the setting, because I want the setting to be close as well. All right. All right, so use the image of the girl in photo 1 to take on the characters. And I'm saying take on both of the characters, because I'm using 2 pictures and I don't want it to be confused. To take on both the characters from the image on the right, or I'll just say the second image. And then let me go ahead and upload the second image. Now I'm just dragging and dropping it here. And what happens is it uses the format from the second picture. So if, like, for instance, you want it to be portrait style or landscape style, I'll talk about some of that stuff when we get into the technicals of it. I just want to see what it's going to do. Now, one thing about using this ChatGPT, before I had Nano Banana, I was impressed with ChatGPT. Now, not so much, because I feel like I have a lot more creativity. It's more true to my model. I don't have to worry about, because what I do in ChatGPT, I absolutely have to face swap each and every one. And a lot of times it truncates my images. Like, it'll make their legs really short, or their torso, it'll be in proportion, but their bottom part of their body is not in proportion, because it tries to jam it up into this ratio. And then I end up having to go into Photoshop and stretch their legs out. Okay, it did not do it at all. Okay, so let me see what I need to do here. Let me do this. I am going to open up Photoshop, y'all. And then what I'm going to do is take just the outfit, and I'm going to take out like the faces and stuff, just in case it can kind of understand what that is, which I'm sure it can. It's Google, it's Google. So you all get to see what I do in real time. Before I make a class, I go through hours and hours of trial and error, and then eventually I have something for y'all. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take her outfit here, kind of even without the micro braids, and and then I'll get her broom. I'm just making a little selection here. I'm going to make sure that I have my additional selection on here. And I'll have to add to that hat a little bit, because her face is going to kind of be in there. Now let me go to Alt. Just kind of remove her face. All right, so let's do Control J. And then I'm just going to call this Costume 1. So I'm going to just do one at a time and see if that helps, because right now it's a little confused. All right, so let me go ahead and quick export that. It's Costume 1 out there. Put it in my downloads. And before I do it to the other one, I just want to see if it's even going to work. And in this case, I probably would just find one where their outfits are separated. But here, while I'm here, might as well see if I can make it do what it do. All right, so let's go ahead and upload this picture and this costume. And I'm just going to say the girl is wearing this costume. Now, let's see what I get. And while that's cooking, let me see, what else are we working on? So I do multiple things at a time. I'm not a great multitasker, just to let you know. But when things have to generate, especially when I'm using ChatGPT, I have to find something else to do because I cannot sit up here and watch this screen for hours. Make this 2/3 screen. All right, let's see if it gave us some good output here. All right, so it's trying me right now. Let me see if I can make a new chat. And let's do a little drag and drop here. Is wearing a beautiful costume inspired by this Black witch costume. Jeez Louise. All right, and this time I added the witch costume first. So let's see if even putting them in a different order is going to affect me, because even though I put it in second last time, it did not end up in the second spot. It ended up in the first spot. Now, what it did do, I think it understands that it's missing pixels there. So this is what I'm going to do, y'all. Like, this is what I be doing for y'all. Let me come on over here to my ChatGPT. Get a new chat. And I'm going to say, describe this costume for AI image prompt. Now, I'm gonna still see if I can work with this one. I'm gonna see if it'll let me sneak in there and get what I need done. What you doing, sir? Now, another thing I need to explain too, Google Gemini will degrade the mess out of your photo. So I don't care if you upscaled it, by the time you end up working with it, your image resolution will be absolute trash, but it does preserve like appearances for the most part better than any other AI generator that I have found so far. And I still don't trust it. I still Faceswap even after I do Google, because there'll be subtle things. No, it's not letting me do it. So what I'm gonna do, new chat. Let's go ahead and grab her here. And what I want to do is I want to get one of her more serious faces. Grab that one, because this one is Elphaba and normally she's looking a little more serious. Oh, and what it's doing here is it is reading the data that I don't have on here. So in order to really truly make that work, I have an idea. I want this as 2 separate prompts. And then maybe it can be a little more descriptive with each one too. Welcome, America. We're just watching me work. Whatever randomness comes to my brain while I'm prepping and just pulling together a project. This is how I really pull together projects. It is random, but it is random chaos with the skills attached to it. So I like to say willy-nilly skillfully. So I'm never willy-nilly where I just don't have any understanding. I am willy-nilly to the extent that I love to be creative with the talents. So here we are. Like I said, I'll stick around for a little while. Y'all can ask me questions if you all have questions. Jennifer's cracking me up. All right, so let's see. Now let me make sure I don't give her nothing crazy either, because she is 9, and usually when you say like leather and stuff. All right, it's trying me right now. Let me try this one more time. Stop showing out on me, because I don't want to have to show them the pay tool. I don't want them to have to pay to do this. So let me upload this image one more again. Boom, boom. In the prompt. So I'm just going to say she is a 9-year-old, just so I can keep her a child. And let's do a photo shoot of this. Okay, let's see if that does it. And then if not, let's see. I'm going to do open art. So Nano Banana's been extremely popular, and it has been messing up a little bit. It's been quitting on people. Kind of, but I said I wanted to be a photo shoot. Anytime you start talking about features like, you know, green skin and that sort of stuff. So I'm saying I want a photorealistic, like a real photo shoot for a magazine. Let's see if it gives me. All right, and then zoom out a little bit here. And let's see if we use our Nano Banana here, if it does any different when you're on these paid things. Oh yeah, I got to tell y'all, I had some fun with this, creating some different little poses and stuff, and trying out some UGC models, the model holding the products and stuff. We'll talk about that later on in the challenge. I even made her wear an outfit from a mood board. So I made her wear these Converse sneakers and some jeans. So we'll talk about that in the challenge. All right, so let me go ahead and do this same prompt. See what you ragged it. Okay, so it's playing with me real bad. Let me see if I go to an alternate one, if it's going to do better. Oh, I need to go to edit an image. No, I lied. It's still creating an image. Nano Banana. And image guidance. That's what I was looking for. So let me drop my image of my model. And I'm not going to do a second image yet, because I just want to see what it does. One thing I will say about Nano Banana, it has been extremely faster generating images. And it still wants to give me this kind of, well, it does look much more photorealistic, but I want it to be an actual photo. So we're going to go 4K photo. Oh, I'm going to go cinematic photo. And this may even be helpful too, like photographers. This would be helpful, not just may, it would be helpful for photographers because a lot of times you're doing composite images where you're putting different things together, and this would save a lot of costume and hair and makeup if I can get this to work. Let's see if cinematic photo is going to help me get more of the realism that I need here. It's the character that I'm describing too, but it shouldn't have a problem doing that. So while it's doing that, I'm going to do hyper photorealistic. And then I'm going to take off this last part. And let's see. So the last two, it's getting a little bit more, like you see how it's getting a little bit better here. Not quite though, not quite, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Okay, I'm getting there better now. So cute. And then her hair in the movie is black too. Her skin is green. I want to make sure I'm getting the details. So far I'm thinking this one is probably my best version so far. I'm going to take off the 4K now. I'm going to take off fantasy also, because fantasy art usually has that kind of airbrush look to it. And then the other thing is I could talk about like details of her skin. So I can say like realistic skin texture. If I want to see her full body, I can talk about her shoes. But right now I really want to get the portrait styling because I can outpaint it later. But I want to get my portrait styling right. I really like this outfit here, but she's still looking a little too, which in general, if you think about a person painted green, it's going to not look as photorealistic. But so far, I think I like this one best. So I may stick with this one. I think that's going to be my one so far that I go with. And even inside of this program, you can do some upscaling and stuff. I wasn't that impressed with the upscaling, but I was impressed with some of the outpainting here in this program. So let me finish. I'm going to, give you my take on this whole open art experience and, what it does that, of course, Midjourney doesn't do and that sort of thing. But I'm just playing now, just getting my assets together, because whenever I do a class for you all, I give you all the assets that we start with. And if we flip, I give you all the assets that we flip with, but then I show you how to make your own assets. So I will be showing you how to make all of this stuff. I'm just preparing my graphics right now. I don't want to do 2 image generation. I'll just do 1 for right now. And let's just say I want to get the bottom of her dress here. What I can do is I want to make sure I have the edge of the dress here. Do the edge here. I probably need a little bit more on the outside here just so we can finish that up. And then I'll show you how we can get rid of that watermark. That is annoying too. We don't have the watermark shouldn't be. I guess they're putting watermarks in the external programs now because they did not have watermarks before. Or it may have taken it might have taken the watermark from my previous model image and put that in there. All right, so I should get all of the dress here. If this all flows down, let's go ahead and expand it. See what we get. And then also I like this idea too, because it's not exactly taking the costume. So we're not infringing, we're using it as inspiration, but we're creating our own character here. All right, so we'll get that one going. And then the next one, A shimmering iridescent ball gown. I knew it was going to put iridescent there. Now we can have it iridescent, but I really wanted to go with my whole pink and green theme. So I'm probably still going to do it pink and green. All right, so we'll let that finish working. That's just doing out painting there. For this purpose, I'll download this just so I have it, just in case something happens. All right, this one's still working over here. And like I said, I wasn't impressed with this one here. All right, so we're going to do a new chat now. And I'll see if it'll do, because I already generated her wearing a pink dress. So now I'm just going to upload that file again. And I'm going to do the one with her just straightforward smiling, my original image. All right, Luminous. I'm going to take off Fantasy. And I'll take off Luminous too, because that is kind of more of an illustrated technique. So hyper photo realistic cinematic photography of the princess standing in a grand emerald city palace wearing a shimmering iridescent ball gown. And I want to say a shimmering, I'll put a pink ball gown, because I don't want to do the iridescent. I want mine to be pink and green. So she can still have puff shoulder accents, glittering crystal crown, long blonde hair. I'm going to take that off. I'll just put just long hair styled elegantly. Tipped with a radiant, and I'm going to say pink light. All right, let's see what that does here. Anita, when you say with the face swap, yeah, it does. And I've even had to literally Photoshop some faces in place for things like that. It's not my favorite thing to do. And in fact, I avoid that. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to tell it that this one is Nano Banana. So that one used the Imagine or Imagine. So I want to make sure that I use Nano Banana. And try this one more again. I could spell stuff right. Photography. All right, let's see if that rolls. In the meantime, in between time, let me go ahead and put the same exact prompt in over here and see if it's just playing with my emotions, because right now the Google Gemini, I believe anybody can use it for free for a certain amount of credits. So you don't have to have a subscription to do this. I'll say she looks more photorealistic, but the green on her was just too green. All right, photo expander gave it the full room. It added some mess down here, but I can get rid of that. So I'm cool with that. I got a full dress there. Because what I'm thinking of is I want to have a standee. I want to have a standee of her as Elphaba, and I want to have a standee of her as Glenda. So in order to do that, I need to have a full body image, and Photoshop is not going to be the best with generating this detail at the bottom of the image. I'm just letting you know right now, it's going to do some crazy stuff with that AI generation in Photoshop for that part. Now, I do like this one too. I probably could tone down the greenness of her skin, but I do like this one. I may go ahead and do this one as well. And just tone down the greenness in her skin. I think I like that. She looks much more photorealistic. So I don't want like a photorealistic image next to a cartoony image. I can't stand that. When the styles don't match, it drives me crazy. Now what I can do a very strong and a very subtle with this also, just to see if it gives me a little different generation there. And whichever one I like out of that, I'll expand and get the whole outfit too. All right, so I have my green one here. Now let me select all of that. Let's do our new prompt. Same girl. So anything that I'm doing right now are these things that you all are interested in doing or learning, or have you even done any projects where you've done some of the work that I'm doing right now? I need to know, is this something that piques your interest, or is this something that you are already doing and is making you money, or something that you're interested in doing because you know it can make you money? Ooh, let me see what this looks like. Now that's gorgeous. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Now this one is a little airbrush quality too, but I could deal with that for the sake of this project. I like that. Okay. I just want to make sure, because sometimes like I can get a little excited about stuff and I'll be pushing y'all sometimes. Want to make sure that I'm pushing y'all in the direction you want to go. All right, so now I have a full dress to the floor for one, a full dress to the floor for the other, and I can bring this into, well, let me see if I can do it even here. So I have this image. Let me see if I can remove, like, let's say, for instance, if I wanted that background, let me do remove. I'm going to remove her from the background, see if I can just get the background. Although, you know what, I'll save this for another one, because this isn't the background I would want for this one. I like the ones, and I'll show you ones that I'm working with. Oh, but I guess it already started, huh? I'd have used up my credits anyway. So let me see if I did want to use this as a backdrop, what I'm doing. And you have to get the reflections and stuff too. Well, geez Louise, I wasn't done yet. Okay, let me let you do your thing. All right, so you have to remove like the reflection of the dresses down on the floor. You have to remove that as well if you truly want it not to try to regenerate the same thing. And I probably could have made my brush a little bit larger. But essentially Photoshop has a feature for AI generation as well. We use it quite often, but I would not use it. I would definitely use it for this background instance just to see what it does, but it's not going to be as eloquent as a Midjourney or this model here. And even this model here, it jumped this up quite a bit. And I believe, what is this using? Is it using Flux? I'm not sure, but I'm not impressed with this. I really don't like this at all. Normally I could take my subject out of the background and it will generate. I think Photoshop would have done a better job at this image generation than this one did. So I'm not happy with that. I wouldn't use that at all. Now let me go back to my images now. And I already got that one, so I'm gonna close out of this. Did I download this one already? Just in case. Let's check and see. Yes. All right, so I have my two images, and like I said, I still go and I'll go to my topaz. So now I'm going to stop, because knowing me, I'll keep making images and making images and making images. It's time for me to get my project together, especially since I'm on live. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and take those images, pull them into my upscaler here. I'm going to zoom in so I can see what my upscaler is doing. And I actually upscale before I face swap. And then sometimes I'll upscale again after I face swap. The reason why is because sometimes if these details are grainy before it even face swaps, and that's where y'all are like, oh my gosh, it looks bad and it looks kind of odd. Well, you may want to face swap first. I mean, you may want to upscale first, because these details, it doesn't look like it, because you all see this on the screen. This looks great, right? But it doesn't actually look great. Look at these pixels. They are horrifying. Y'all give me just a second. I'm going to go grab some water and I'll be right back while this thing is working. It's working already. Look at the day and night. Look at that. It literally rebuilt her face. It rebuilt hairs on her eyebrows that obviously were not there. So if you're not doing upscaling and you're printing these large format jobs, you got to do some upscaling. So I'm going to do that one. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop my Elphaba with the full outfit when this one is done. It's almost done. I'm trying to figure out my perfect time to go get my water. I'll go right now. I'll be right back, y'all. All right, I'm back. Let me know if y'all can hear me still. I'm going to go ahead and move on to my Elphaba-esque or Elphaba-ish image. Let's see. It might take a little work on this one. Let's see. So, I might end up painting her face back on and turning it green. I'm glad that they already got her skin and everything green because these details are not doing it for me. I can't see like the hairs in her eyebrows. Her eyes don't have the detail that I want. I'm not feeling that. And it can do a little bit better here, but it's not doing what I want. And even upscale, it's going to do a little bit of work to guess what's there, but it's not going to recreate things. Like it's not going to redo the eyeball there, which clearly I would end up redoing that. So I'm just going to go export it as is. It is a higher resolution here, which is actually a very large file for it to be such bad artwork. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it back here. And now I'm going to have her as the model. Oh, then I'm going to upload her outfit. And before I upload this, let me open this in Photoshop. Let me clean this up because this is getting on my nerves that it is putting this data down here. All right. Oh, dang, that's not what I want to do. Cancel. Get a bigger brush. They gave me like Chinese or something down there. Not bad. I left a little bit here. Let me grab that. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm not using the generative fill. Matter of fact, what I'm doing right here does not take generative credits. So I just use the remove tool, and this has the magic in it So I might build that into what we do. If not by this week, it'll be in one of the projects that we do with this project, because you will need this this skill for doing the kids' parties and stuff, because you're constantly going to be making a version of this and putting this person's face on this outfit, and it'll be a lot of that. All right, so I am going to save this now. Then that way, hopefully it won't keep putting that watermark on there. The same thing with this one. Let me open. Oh, okay. Do what you want to do then. I'm going to open this one up. Okay, so this one does not have the watermark because that one is my Midjourney version. All right, so, okay. And you know what? I think these programs be working together, because doesn't this look like very similar? I actually like this one better in terms of the background for sure. But I didn't get the end of the dress here. And what it did was it used, you see the dress that she already has on? It used the top part of this dress and then just added these sequin poofs on the side and added to the bottom of her dress. So that could work too. And it does really look like the original image there as well. So let me go back on over here. Am I happy yet? Am I though? Okay, and I like that this one has the wand. I think I like this dress better, to be honest with you. I like the puff of the other one and the crown on the other one. And I'm not going to get into remixing, y'all. Because if I was really doing this for a client, simple is the key. The fact that I already created something that they did not have to buy a dress for, and they did not have to sit here and, do a whole photo shoot, they're going to love me, because that probably saved them some hundreds, in some cases thousands of dollars, because they may have to go buy this beaded gown that might cost $400 or so. So we are helping them literally create an experience. Now, is this one done? Looks like it's still spinning. Let me see. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to see if I can mix it one more time here. Let me do new chat. And let me say that I'll do my smiley young lady. I'll say the girl in pink is wearing the black witch costume with the broomstick, and her skin is green. Let's see if I've created my own little workaround, because the costumes are very similar. It doesn't have to be exact. I never really intended it for it to be exact, but it's almost like it just gave me the same exact image. Let me see if it updated the eyes at least, because the eyes were jacked up from before. I think it did improve the eyes a little bit. I'll download it and see. And I don't need the background. All right, so now I'm going to say, give me a close-up. Portrait. And I want to see high quality skin details, because that's what I'm really missing. If I can get that, then I can superimpose the high quality face on the costume of the other one. You see where I'm going with this? Because otherwise I'm going to be painting eyes. I'm going to be painting all of those details of her face onto the witch and then trying to match the green skin tone, which I can do. Oh, that looks good, but it still looks kind of cartoony. So let me try that then. Let me do a new chat. Because like I said, if you don't do a new chat, I think even between chats, it still be trying you. So now I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring her image in where she's smiling. And then I'm going to bring in this image here. And I'm going to go zoom in, portrait, close-up portrait with realistic skin texture and details. And I'm going to say hazel eyes, just so I can specify that I want it to do something with the eyes. I don't know if her eyes are like yellow or green or brown or whatnot. I guess I could look that up, but we're making our own thing. It can be whatever we want it to be. So she's going to have hazel eyes. So the girl in the pink is wearing the black witch costume. She has piercing hazel eyes. And then I think last time I forgot to put the nano banana there. Let's see if that works. Let's see. All right. Okay. So y'all have worked on similar things. Awesome. Okay. It did bring her. Now I'm going to say make her skin green. I'm going to say golden hazel. Let's see, because I don't want her eyes to be yellow, but I like that little golden look. Let's see if it does it. And of course it brought it back to the original. Why you keep trying me? Stop trying me. All right. We're going to work with what we got, but I'm just telling you that it is definitely trying me. Now I will go ahead, because it did give me like the hairstyle here and it's very similar. I'm going to go ahead and download this because I feel like I'm going to have to end up making her skin green anyway. That is my task. Now what I can do is I can download that image. Oops. And then I can go open that image. And I'm just going to say one thing at a time. Make her skin green. I think we might get somewhere. Let me be quiet though. Then I'm going to do another one because I forgot to put the nano banana. Okay. She got green, and I can build the intensity of the green there. I can rock with that. I can definitely rock with that. All right, so let me try this one more time with the nano banana selected and see if that makes a difference for her. And I should have face swapped before I told it to make the face green. So let me go on into my little workflow here. All right, so like I said, regardless, okay, it did the same thing there. Let me I'm gonna take this one. And I don't know if y'all know this, but you can drop multiple images in. Now, I didn't upscale this one because it's already up close, so hopefully I face swap and then I upscale it. And then just out of curiosity, I'm going to see if I upscale. Here's the one I cleaned up. There it is. If I face swap something with a green face, does it give me this still keep the green face? Let's see. So in order to get this image here, I'm going to go ahead and set up an ID. Well, actually I have to save an ID first. So I'm going to save her as my, I'm going to save it as Wicked Girl. Not that she's wicked, but that it's pertaining to the movie Wicked or the theme. So Wicked Girl, and it has to be less than 10 characters, I believe. And then what I want to do is I want to put in an upscaled version of her face, which I don't have yet. So, because here's the thing, quality, garbage in is garbage out, quality in is more than likely going to be quality out. So if I don't put in an upscale image in my image that I give it to face swap is grainy. So that may be some of y'all's issues too when you're doing face swapping. It could have some detrimental results there. So I'm going to close that one now. And I want to put a straight face one because she's not smiling in this one. So I believe that's my straight face one. And see how it doesn't look like it's not high resolution till you zoom in? And then you start to see all those pixels. Let it recover the face, and then I should get some more definition like in the eyebrow there. The skin should look more consistent there. There it goes. Okay. So now I'll export that one. And I already upscaled the one where she is smiling. I believe that one is upscaled. Yep, that one's already upscaled. So I have one with her not smiling upscaled, one with her smiling upscaled. Now that's important because sometimes if you're trying to face swap, all of these have her not smiling, right? Then if I try to face swap ones with her smiling and it doesn't have a reference for her teeth, it will make her teeth up. So that is another thing that you deal with face swapping. All right, so I'm going to use this one. And then I'm going to put a 1 for non-smiling, and then I'll put a 2 for smiling. Okay, let's see if that works. Oh, length of the name must be less than 10. All right, well, I didn't count my letters there, so let's do, I'm going to do Wicked 9. So she's a 9-year-old, and my smile one is usually my secondary one. So no, I'll just do Wicked 1 because she will, oh, I got to specify the image. She's not smiling in image 1, and then she is smiling in image 2. Okay, calm down, sir. I'm giving you the image. And I should have removed that watermark, but it should be fine for the face swap because it's only looking for the facial features. And then while I have it, I just created it. I'm going to go ahead and do the face swap. Now, this one, remember I told you there's some rare cases where some of these other ones work better, like Artify and Extreme. And also, just to let you know, face swap does not work well as far as the experience I've had for children with this software. So that's why I wanted to try it out. That's just from my my experience and how I've been dealing with it. It does better with adult faces. Not terrible, and it did keep her green skin. I'm surprised for that. It actually didn't do bad. It's improving with the children faces. This one kind of tried to make her have a little more adult face, I can tell, but I'm looking at the image here, and it looks like it does look a little more like it. So I'll be testing out a couple of other programs to do the face swapping for the kids, because I feel like some programs do better with face swapping for kids than others. And truly, the Google Gemini was supposed to preserve her face, but it did change her face a little bit. And I noticed that over time too. At first, it was doing more exact faces, and now it is doing variations of faces. So I think that maybe even Google's getting a little backlash from creating images in people's likenesses. So it may be shifting that. All right, so have my two characters. I'll play with face swapping a little bit, but let me close that up. All right, and then I'm just going to kind of get into what I want to have going on for this story. What pieces I want to make for this project. Do I want to have, certain backdrop styles? What we're going to do in the challenge, of course, this is going to be one of the projects we do after the challenge. We're going to do a storybook. I believe the week after, no, the third week after the challenge, we're going to do a storybook part, which can technically be a full size, like printable storybook, which it ends up being about 12 feet wide by 12 feet wide by 8 feet tall. If you're doing it 8 feet, it's pretty big. It's a pretty big prop, but you'll be able to design it for, like, let's say you wanted to do the whimsical Alice in Wonderland, or you wanted to do like a comic book and make it look like the comic book is an actual book prop. We'll talk about that for that design, but this is one of the major pieces that I wanted to do as a large format piece with this project. So then instead of, like, for instance, for the 305 project, we did this 3-piece focal. Here we'll be doing a different focal, which will be the book. And the book itself will be open, and I'll show you how we will design the pages. We'll create the clip art that will design the book, all of that good stuff. So that book right now is kind of more like a teaser, but all of the other graphics, I'll show you how to create these. These are actually graphics that you all have had for probably about a year now. All of these graphics come from, let's see, I think it should tell me. Like, this is AI 46, the bows. Y'all remember we did a whole AI class making up bows? Let me zoom in a little bit here so y'all can see better. This one is AI 50. So I just want y'all to see that you do not have to come up with something every single time. I'm pulling together resources that I've done over time in order to create a project, because I'm like, oh yeah, didn't I have something where it already had the Emerald City? And I did I did the Emerald City, and I did some cherry blossoms, and I just really liked how those, and I wrote a prompt to combine those together. And then I had the emerald clock here with a golden brick path, and I created that one in AI, and I'm just pulling these things together. So some of these images may even look familiar, but the whole objective is, well, when it comes time to design for a party, do I already have some stuff, or do I have to make every single thing from scratch? So we will be making some images from scratch. We'll be making your models. You all will be making your own model based on the party that you want to produce. All right, and then these items here, these are like party favors, and items that may go with your party. For instance, you got fans, you have yard signs, pillows. Pillows are a really big deal for events where they want the event to look more high end. Those custom printed pillows do really, really well in those settings. You have the cubes, the arch, And of course, like I said, the focal point for this one will be like a storybook style, but you could also do just a regular old backdrop, an 8-foot backdrop that looks like a storybook, or looks like an enchanted background, or looks like an emerald city. There's so many different options here that I just want you all to get to where you're narrowing those options down and creating a cohesive look. So I'll be flipping that one out based on some of the elements from here. And then now all I'm going to do is just kind of see what's going on with my characters. And this one is my upscaled version, so I'm going to open that one. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in her face there. Because I'm going to show you also, like, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, and you have to do your own face swap. And so while this is as large as it can be, I'll take that, do a little Control J. This is what I figured I was going to have to do for the green one. So if I do it for the green one, I'm probably also going to do it for her here. But we did a class on this. Y'all, what class was that? It was AI 79. Hold on. Because we will not be doing this in the challenge. Not in the challenge. I might take some time to do this again as a class. So after the week of the challenge, we spend 3 weeks on the same project developing other skills. So if that's one of the skills y'all want to develop, like I said, I have done this one before. Let me find it for you. I ended up actually creating a little log of what we've done this past year. So I'm sure it will be on here. I believe it was AI 79. Yeah, this is literally what we do every single month, every single week. So it was right, probably right. Yep. Okay. So AI 80, I thought it was 79. I lied. It was AI 80 because we did the virtual try on. AI 80 is where we came up with the characters and the different styles of those characters. So now you can see, like, hey, if I didn't want to do photorealistic and I wanted to make it look like a storybook illustration, like the Pooh Bear, the old school Pooh Bear style is, more in the style of a storybook illustration. Or maybe I wanted to look like Lego characters, or I wanted to look like Boondocks characters, whatever styling you want. We did that AI 80. And then 317 was where we literally took the face into Photoshop and did some of the things that I'm talking about doing right now. So I just want y'all to know that we already did this as a class. So don't be like, oh, we need to do this as a class. We did. It was 317. That was not that long ago. All right. So what I'm going to do here is just bring down opacity for here. And this is what I'm saying. Even if you don't have Faceswap, it's still powerful to make the AI images because it got her skin tone right. Like, do you know how hard it is to take an image and change the skin tone? And I'm just getting the placement of her eyes about the same. And this is literally what the AI software does, y'all. This is all the AI software does. Exactly what I'm doing right now. All right, so let me add a little layer mask in case I need to build some of this back at some point. A little soft brush. Now there's something that we can try too that blends an image into another image. I don't know if I'm ready to do that quite yet. Let me put it on my list. We may do that. Let me put that on my list for the upcoming weeks. So on my Google Docs list. So I'm thinking what we can do is, it's not completely a face swap. It's called a blend. Let me put it on my list. Okay, so we'll do basically like a face blend into our AI generated body onto AI generated body. And that's for those cases where it just doesn't get the face right, So I hear y'all. We can work on that. All right, so That is not perfectly cleaned up, but it's there. And then I can turn it. See? Sometimes we don't even think they look that different. And then what'll happen is you sending somebody else a picture of their child, and to you it may look similar, but by the time we did that face swap, that's a totally different face, y'all. You see what I'm saying? So anyways, so I hope this is helpful. All right, so we got her in the costume. We have her actual face on there now. And then what I will do, let me do a little save as. And this will be my wicked 9-year-old girl. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and just bring in the other outfit here. All right, and it's probably going to be the same exact situation here. And what I need to do is see, do I have enough space? No, her dress. And what I should have done with this, y'all, before I shrunk this down, that was my complete bad. I should have turned it into a smart object first. Because what happens is when you cut it like this, when it was big, like it was here, and I'll do it again from scratch, because that's absolutely something I should be showing y'all. Let me do object selection, see if it'll just let me select her face. Okay. And it did get her face, but I do want to get a little bit of her edges and stuff here. So I'm going to just choose my regular lasso tool, make sure that my addition selection is on, or you're holding down shift on the keyboard to add to the selection. And I am going to add some of her hair around there. Maybe even that ear, just in case. All right. Now, if I do Control J, it is no longer a smart object. So I need to take that and turn it into a smart object. And then I'll just put this as face. And then let's go ahead and convert that to a smart object. That way it preserves the detail as high as possible. Okay. All right. That way, whenever I reduce it down, so if I don't have it as smart object, that image is permanently reduced down. If I try to bring it back up in size, it will have tiny pixels in it. All right, let's see. How much time do I have? Do y'all want to see me work this image tonight? Because it's pretty much all I will have time to do for tonight before I have to get the kiddos ready for bed. All right, so Now I can still, I'm going to actually get rid of these two here so I don't get confused, use the wrong ones. Okay, so let me see. I actually have not tried this out. I don't like experimenting. Like, I like to know what I'm talking about before I show y'all something. But I'm actually really excited about a feature. So this may be one of those times where I just say bump it. Let's explore together. Let's see. Now I have to bring her face up a little bit. And increase the size just a little bit here. All right, and it didn't do a clean job of cleaning up, under her face. I can do all of that later. But what I would like to do is take, I'm going to go ahead and group those and disappear them for right now. Let's see. What do I want to do? I'm thinking of a feature that I just don't. Let me see if I turn my background and let me duplicate the background so I don't mess with it. Let me duplicate the face so just in case I don't mess with it. And then this is a smart object. I'm going to go ahead and turn this into a smart object as well. Let's go ahead and turn that into a smart object as well, so that if we make it smaller or bigger, we don't lose any definition. Let's see here. If I take these two, and am I in Photoshop beta or what? Yep, I'm in beta. Where is my contextual taskbar? It is not showing. Show contextual taskbar. All right, let me save this project right now. All right, and then what I'll do, I'm going to see if I can play with that later with the blend, because I know there's a way to do it. I can't think of it at this time, and I thought it was here in this edit. I could be wrong. It's a feature. I'm just drawing a blank right now. I'll tell y'all what we'll do. We'll do the feature Wednesday in class. How about that? That way I have some time to make sure I know which one of the layer menus is under. We'll do that. And I'm not even sure why my contextual taskbar is not showing up right now. So that's bothering me a little bit too. Let me go ahead and close out of some of this stuff. All right, so I'm going to give y'all this quick play though, because I do still want to get this done. Outfit here, let's go ahead and, okay, I had to be on a layer. I think maybe it just wanted me on an official layer, and then it brought up my contextual taskbar. All right, I'm going to remove the background from this one. And I want to make sure she's about the same scale as removing the background from this one. And remember, removing the background does not delete any pixels. It's non-destructive. It uses a layer mask. All right, and then what I'll do is I want her face to be about the same size. So I told you I have this thing about when I have images that are kind of side by side, I have this weird thing about them being like the same perspective and then also similar sizing. So for instance, for this one, the face of the witch is much smaller than the face of the princess. So I'm going to keep that there for reference because that's about the size that I want her face to be. So in order for that to work, number one, she has a hat. So she is taking up a little more visual space there. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring the one with the hat down. Kind of put her face in about the same space. Make her face a little bit bigger. And I'm looking at like her hairline. I'm looking at where her eyes are. And I want to increase the image because I can always increase my canvas size if I need to. I want her to be about the same face size. All right, and then now it's looking like the face size is kind of matching up here, so I can get away with that. But now her dress is kind of hanging off the bottom here, and I don't want her to be taller either. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate this layer, and I want to do a little transforming here. I may do a puppet warp and I may do a distort. Let me see what happens when I distort. Yeah, nope, don't want to distort. I think I'm gonna do a puppet warp. Let me go ahead and get out of this mode and then try it again. Let's do edit, transform. There we go, puppet warp right there. So I'm gonna keep all of this the same. And the reason why I'm kind of putting these where her joints are, just in case I want to have some fun actually moving her around. I can kind of ensure that she has these things in place. So really, I want to keep everything the same above the waist area here, but I want to bring in this dress here because this is all made up data anyway, right? Now I got to be careful with the broom because the broom could look a little out of place, but basically if I'm showing the pink dress here, oh, it's got that layer mask on there. That's what it is. And what I'll do as I do that, I'm going to remove the layer mask. I'm going to delete the layer mask. Make sure everything's good. And then, oh, it applied the layer mask. No bueno. Okay. Oh, let's go back. Yeah, I'm going to go back to where it did not apply the layer mask. I got to delete the layer mask. And then I can edit it. So now let me puppet warp it. And what I'm doing, I'm placing pins where I would have things pivot and move. But quite naturally, this is where I'm keeping things from moving right now. All right, so now if I play with the bottom of this document, it's not so serious because it's just a dress that it made up. And I can make the dress up just as well as AI did. Okay, now I'm okay with that. Now my dress is at about the same level as the pink dress, a little bit longer, but I can deal with that. And now I can remove the background from this one. All right, that way her face is about the same size as the pink one. I'm not dealing with her face being a totally different size. And I can take this one away. I'll probably clean up this by hand. Let me use my pen tool. I don't know why I was so confused about the dress right there, but hey, that's what pen tools are for. All right, we'll turn that into a selection. Now on the layer mask, I'm not deleting no real pixels, y'all. Just hit delete on the layer mask, but I should have had white in the foreground, black in the background. So when I hit delete, it didn't delete any real pixels. What it did was it added black to the layer mask there. All right, so same thing here. And more than likely, it looks like I would have to clean up this entire bottom anyway. So I won't do it right now, but yeah, I'll do it right now. Why not? Let me zoom in and show y'all this pen tool action. And I don't like going right to left. So let me escape out of the pen tool. And then just do it. Because I wasn't going to do the pen tool. But I be fussing at y'all about not being afraid of the pen tool. I'm not afraid of it. I was trying to save a little time tonight. But here, there's a layer mask on. The layer mask is trying to cut the foreground from the background. However, there's black in the dress and there's black in the background. So it's a little confused. So I'm using my pen tool here. And we did do some pen tool exercises in class a few classes back, but maybe it's time to brush up on pen tool again. In fact, I think it is. We did pen tool with the racing theme. I believe that was 318. And I want to make sure I get this good and clean. Doesn't have to be perfect, y'all. Like I said, this is fabric that we made up. But what you do want to do is you want to make sure you're putting curves where there are curves. You see how I'm clicking and dragging it? It's creating curves, which makes it not have those little jagged, hard edges unless I want to have them. Now, there will be times where you do need a little corner. But there are more times where you need to be able to use the pen tool. And then also, if you're doing cutouts, like the whole point of me even making these images is so that they can be cutouts. So I will turn these into Coroplast Standees. So being able to have it to where it cuts out. And I'm doing all of this, y'all, but more than likely, if I'm making a prop of this, I'm going to flatten out the bottom. If I'm making this into, like, for instance, a t-shirt design, then I can have all of the wavy edges down here. But if I'm making this as a prop, I have to have a flat bottom anyway in order for this to truly stand up. So we'll talk about some more of that kind of stuff during the challenge, and not just the challenge itself, but this whole next 30 days, because for the next 30 days, we're working on kids' parties. So yes, we do the challenge to kick off the project, but for the 3 weeks after that 1 week that we spend together in the challenge, that's where we add to the skills that pay the bills. And I even see a little texture here, like that's leather, and this looks like it could be some kind of embossed fabric, a little like damask print or something like that that's in there. Ooh, Lord. We're gonna get this done. See, I end up doing stuff with y'all that I didn't plan on doing. Because it's like, well, while we're here, let me show you how to. All right, so that's getting the outside. I'm going to come out here now. I'm going to make that into a selection with 1 pixel. So it is not going to be real hard. It's going to be a 1 pixel kind of fade off the edge there. Now I can hit delete, but it didn't delete anything. What it did was it cleaned up my layer mask. And now you see how it actually has a clean edge there rather than that fuzziness. This is also important if you're doing like DTF and you need to make sure that you have, or vinyl, you need to make sure that you have an edge that is, or contour that is able to be cut. Now that's able to have a contour cut. All right. So, and then if I was doing this basically as a prop that's going to get cut off at the bottom, I would actually leave the dress long at the bottom and cut straight across, like literally let the bottom of this page here be the bottom of the board, and then I would let her ruffles stick out on the edge. And I probably would even reduce some of these ruffles because her prop would have to be way too wide. So I'm cutting out all of this, but I may end up reducing it even more because you want it to be able to fit on a 4x8 board. Those are things that I'll talk about as we progress through this project, because I need y'all to know, like, hey, what does this look like in real life? Like, you can mock things up all day on Canva or even here in Photoshop, but if you don't understand scale and you don't understand, hey, this board can only be 4 feet wide, so this image here, I can tell you right now, is wider than 4 feet if she's going to be 6 feet tall, because her dress is so wide. It's more of a square than it is a portrait. So we'll have to do that. Now, let me see if I have a little time. Then I'm going to play with this here. I had no intention on doing this, so my brain may not even be in the place to do this, but if you know how to solve problems, then you stay ready. All right, so what I'm doing here is just getting her face in the area of the existing face. And it looks like her head maybe turned just a little bit, or her eyes a little lower there. I'm going to go with her actual face. But I just want to make sure that the main features are lining up here. I may even need to make this face a little bit larger. There we go. So now the proportions look similar there. And then what I'm going to do is turn off the eyeball for the face for a second. And I am going to see if I can select just the hat here. Get rid of that underneath. So just on this layer, I'm going to select the object selection tool and see if it understands that I just want the hat. Okay, got just a hat there. I'm going to do Control J and then turn that into Smart Object. Put that over the face. So then the hat now should be laying over the face. And of course, there's some shadows and things there that I need to be aware of, but I'm really trying to get the visual right now. See how there's shadows on the face here? All right. I haven't made her face green yet. I want to try something here. And bring the opacity all the way up. And let's take this image here, above here to here. And I want to harmonize this. If I harmonize, it should bring the shadows onto the face. It may not understand it because her body is green and her face is flesh tone. And it may actually make her face green. I don't know. I haven't tried harmonize with a different skin color yet. So let's see how that works. And if harmonize does work with the shadows, then I'll change her face, her skin tone green. Okay, let's see. I did a little bit better with the shadows, but that's not what I wanted. Let me go back one more. We gotta harmonize. Okay, so it looks like manual is the way to go. That's why I say if you know Photoshop's tools, you'll be all right. Let me go ahead and I'm going to create a color layer. No, what am I doing? Oh, they put it at the bottom now. Solid color used to be at the top with gradient and pattern. They put it at the bottom. I'm like, what am I doing? I thought I was just drawing a blank, y'all. Okay, so I'm going to turn it off, and then I'm going to double click on the color here, get green somewhere where it is the most mid-tone version of the green there. Turn it on. Now let's create a clipping mask. Now let's change this blend mode to color, or I think I want to change it to hue so that it keeps the blacks. Okay. Now let's kind of shift the color to what I think is most naturally matching with her neck. It's a little too green. I had it, but then I changed it. It's a little too green. Too vibrant. It's not changing anything. I think the computer is like not catching, because I've been changed this color 20 times and I haven't seen it change yet. Let's say okay. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the levels on her face underneath here. Levels. And let's see. I want a little bit more shadow because she's got that hat on. And then I'm going to change the hue and saturation because her green should not be that intense. So I'm going to turn this off for a moment so I can grab the hue in her skin. Boom, it's probably going to be reds. Yep, reds. Turn the green back on. And now for my reds, I'm going to bring the saturation down because I don't want her skin to be that intense. I want it to be a little bit darker and grayer. And I might have to shift the hue just a little bit. Okay, we're getting closer. Do y'all see what I'm doing here? Like, AI was supposed to do this for me. But this is why it's beneficial to know these skills. And I also feel like, I need to clean up underneath her chin and stuff. But do you see? AI was supposed to do that for me. I wasn't supposed to have to do all of that. But I think it ended up looking better because now it actually looks like her. So let's see. Let's bring her here. And I'm just going to group all of this right now. And I'm going to put that as green. And where's my pink? And I'll put this one as pink. And I'm not sure which face I was using. Oh. Okay, so all of that's good. Maybe that was the face that might have gone with the pink. All right, so pink. Let's see what we have going on. There we go. So I have my pink girl and I have my green girl. And they both look good. They both look fire. Yep. So Jennifer, check on the 327 class. I actually did it at night, Jennifer, just for you. I stayed up and I was like, you know, because usually I'm like, oh, I'm going to clean it up and make it more perfect. I was like, done is better than perfect tonight. And I just went ahead and gave y'all what I had already cleaned up and done during the live. So y'all do have that 327 master file now. Go check it out. Go have fun with it. I also gave y'all some bonus files in Craft to Quit as far as like some of the PNG mockups and things that I made from it. All right. And then depending on where I put this, I may end up changing the light. So it has like that kind of amber light from the fire, or, you know, the background that it had from before. I may tone that down. Just things that I'm looking at, things that I would be telling y'all that I'm doing. Also, let's see. Yeah, I got a crown and everything. Like I said, I would create a little clip-in to make the dress a little bit smaller, maybe even using the puppet warp tool to make her dress more narrow, because this would end up being 2 boards rather than 1 board cut out. So those are some things that I would do. But the hair, this is what we'll do. Let me go ahead and change this into a smart object. And it's not formatted correctly. So if I'm going to capitalize one, let me capitalize the other. So there's my pink girl, and then my green girl. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make these into quick PNGs real quick. 1 and 2. And then that way I can get a vision for them here. And before I resize one, I might as well resize them together. And now you'll see what I'm talking about. If this board, for reference, this board is 4 feet wide. You see how her dress would be coming outside of that in both of these images? So either I'm going to have to pay more money to basically make this image a lot wider, or I'll find a way to creatively make sure that her dress fits within the 4-foot board parameters. Let's see where I want her. And then, all right, so now we're getting to see where I was going with this theme, and even with like creating your own images all together. I'll probably end up doing a lot of this work as just clip arts, so that I have like cohesive images. And like I said, this is clip art that we've already created almost a year ago in our AI classes, and then I'm bringing on different images from different AI classes so that you can see that you just don't have to wait for one challenge or one class that I teach you to generate everything. You all have been building skills this entire time. So this is AI 51. The bunny is AI 50, is this letter here with the butterflies in it. I think that owl was also AI 51. I probably should have showed y'all that one. AI 46 is this bow. So we'll go and break down some of this. AI 53 is where I created, I don't think you can see this one. So if you just wanted a backdrop, then not have to have the storybook. This is the 8 foot by 8 foot backdrop that was created in AI 53. This is our class number 290 where we did the accordion wall. If I click on the accordion wall, it should have some of those individual images that we created. This is 2 different images, and it's made to look like it merges from left to right, or it's 2 different images, and then it merges when you back up from it. Looks like a unique art piece. So let's see if this one identifies which ones are in here. I would just like to tell y'all, just so you know, for prep work, you can go look at these AI classes, because some of you have all 90 AI classes unlocked, and maybe you're not utilizing them to the fullest. Oh, no, this isn't the one, I don't believe. I have one where it tells me what number that is. So I'll get y'all that number if y'all are interested where these particular images come from. Now we're going to be making our own images during the challenge and during the weeks after the challenge that go with this. So let's say, for instance, you want to do a Hot Wheels theme, or you want to do a dinosaurs theme. I'm going to show you all the steps to make your own theme, but my goal is to show you principle wise how these things are created so that you can have your looks and your pieces, right? So I think that's it for tonight, y'all. We almost oh, 327. Let me see, because I uploaded it last night. Let me check for you real quick. I may have deleted the other, like the original class file. That might be why you only see one, because I didn't want it to be confusing. But let's see. 327. I'm looking at, I'm going to go edit. Yep. There should be 2 where, you see there? It's got the one for 327 class, and then it's got the one, oh, that's the assets. Uh-oh. Did it not put the file? Hold on. Let me see. You might be right, Jennifer. Let me check. 327. I just did it last night, so I might have closed out the window before it finished uploading. That has happened before. So in 327 class, yeah, it was 327 master red. It did not do it. Yeah, because it's a little bit bigger, well, significantly bigger, 600 megabytes versus 400 megabytes than the class file, because it does have those additional assets, and I did clean that up for you all. So it goes from the green, I believe the green to the red grad now. So let me leave that alone. I won't touch it, because that may have been what happened. I may have closed out of the window or went to something else and it didn't finish uploading. So thank you for that, Jennifer. Thank you. Thank you. Look, I'm sitting here thinking y'all done had this thing since Friday. I was about to ask y'all what y'all did with it, since y'all be asking me for my files. Y'all be like, can I get that? Yeah. What you going to do with it? What you going to do with it? I don't mind giving my resources to y'all. If y'all just do something with it, that's my payback. All right. So I'm done with this one. Now here, let's see. What y'all think? Who did it better? Google or Doc for the face swap? Let me know now. Let me know for real. Look, and the thing about it is, it got the lighting and everything right here, but it just didn't keep her face right. Now I can go in and change her eyes and everything to like make them lighter and look like they're glowing and stuff, but we'll play with that a little bit later. All right, but the advantage is that it can do a lot of this stuff. And if I say richer green, then hopefully, you know, it would do that. But I just think it's really neat to see these things play out, because especially for kids, this makes kids' days kids' day when you can really show them as a character or show them as the main event or the superhero. Like there's nothing that you're gonna be able to do to tell them that they can't take that standee home and put it in their room. And the other thing is, I want to design this so that they can use this for room decor. So this big old storybook, if they paid you, for instance, it's 3 boards, it's at least 175 per board. If you do 3 boards, you might take that down, but that's almost a $500 prop, right? Why don't you make it something that they could take home and then their friends see it and then they advertise for you all year round, because now it's a part of her room decor. She has a big old storybook of her in her room. Come on, y'all. All right. So, hope you all are ready for the challenge. We start tomorrow. If you are not enrolled in the challenge and you want to enroll in the challenge, let me go ahead and give y'all this little link real quick. And then I will show you on this page. I should have put it up at the top. I apologize. I did. I normally don't advertise the challenge to people outside of Craft to Quit, but if you click here, I will do a free day, which is on Friday, which is basically where I do a recap. You will miss everything, but I will do a recap of what we did throughout the week. It will be probably like 10 hours worth of stuff that I have to squeeze into a 1-hour Friday live with y'all. So you will not get the full thing, but I do, like, my goal is to help you so that you can afford to be in the Craft to Quit program. You can afford to be in the challenge. I do not sit here and say, hey, well, my stuff ain't for everybody. And no, I'm making the free stuff for everybody. So if you can at least sign up and show up for the Friday event, it's free. But if you want to be in the challenge, which is the 4 days with me, then you want to sign up here. The free class is how you sign up for just for that Friday. That's, like I said, I'll do a recap for y'all. And then if you want to be in the full experience, this means you get the files, you get the AI classes, you get the prompt books, you get whatever resource that I pull up. And trust and believe, every challenge I'm doing something super extra. So any resource that I give for marketing materials or Canva templates or whatever I give, you get all of that if you're in the challenge, because basically you're paying for those additional resources and that implementation, the hands-on session. So you're going to get hands-on in the Zoom room with me. And like I said, that used to be $297, $347 for my late birds. So now we're at the late bird price. I've taken that down to $97. You don't even have to be a member, but you do have to pay the $97 in order to participate in the challenge. Okay, so if this sounds like something that you've been sitting on the fence, waiting to really learn how to do this stuff at a professional level, I can teach amateurs. I can teach complete newbies how to design and to work in a 100% professional manner. And it's because of the tools, the way we teach, and then also my goal is to set you up for success so that you feel confident selling. So we're not using Canva in this class, we're using Photoshop, but I'm confident if you do use Canva, then you can use Photoshop, especially with the way that I teach and lead our design classes. So if you just give yourself that 7-day trial of Photoshop with me and you say, okay, well, I don't want to spend any money on Photoshop, just at least get that 7-day trial. And on Wednesday, do Photoshop with me. On Saturday, I have a class for you all. Coach Ann is teaching the beginners Photoshop class. So you'll have that opportunity where she designs from scratch. And with that 7-day trial of Photoshop, you will figure out that you can do so much more with Photoshop than Canva. And I'm positive that you will want to switch over. And I still use Canva. Y'all see me pull up Canva today. I absolutely use Canva all day, every day. But Photoshop is the program that I know to design in because I have so much more freedom and so many more tools. Okay. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all on Monday. Also, a quick announcement. We hit our founders members for our Our AI Creatives Art Club. I got too many things open. Close, Canva. I know you wanted your little time to shine. So if you are interested in that, let me. No, I thought I was going to see it here. Hold on. Let me pull that up. I'll give y'all that link before I leave off tonight too. And y'all, I've been doing my willy-nilly, so I don't have my customer happiness with me. So y'all, please give me grace as I do this whole finding information for y'all at the same time I'm teaching. It may have been on here. Let me see. Nope, sure wasn't. Well, and if I don't find it right now, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go. Yeah, let me just show you how to get to it from the Academy. I had a little shortcut for y'all. Let me see here. I want to give y'all the shortcut because it actually does give you direct, because I don't think it shows up on here. Oh yeah, it does show up on here. So if you just go to innateacademy.com, it'll show up here for the AI Club. It just doesn't show the Craft to Quit yet. Okay. Because we will open up the Craft to Quit program after the challenge. So if you are interested in joining Craft to Quit, then that way I get a chance to explain to you inside of the challenge what the benefit of Craft to Quit is. If you want to join the live classes, I suggest Gold right now because you get the AI class every week live. You get an AI class unlocked, a previous class, AI class unlocked. You get a Photoshop live class every week, and then a Photoshop unlocked class every week. So you, every single week, you're unlocking 2 AI classes, 2 Photoshop classes. Every month, you get 8 AI classes, 8 Photoshop classes. So 4 of them being live every single month for AI and 4 of them being live every single month for Photoshop. If you're looking for the place where we help you get the work done in real time and you are building your skill every single week, then you want to be here in the gold. The silver is just Photoshop, but all of the templates that we do, you basically get those replays 7 days after we do the live class. So for instance, we did that viral pop-out template, which was $287. You really like that one. You could join the membership, $50 a month, and you'll unlock 8 Photoshop classes. But you would just get the replays. You won't be in the live class. And then the AI Creative Club is for you to be on the AI action every Tuesday. Let's say, you know, you're not ready for Photoshop yet, but you really want to learn how to create all these images that I was creating in Photoshop. I mean, in AI. Every single week, we do an AI design class, and it does not require Photoshop. But in the Photoshop class, I show you how we use our AI art. Okay, so I just want you all to be aware of that. All right, so that was it. That's my announcements for tonight, y'all. I will see y'all in the challenge tomorrow. Please be ready because we're going to get more work done in this next week than you probably have in the past 6 months. You know how we roll. Unless, of course, you've been in the challenge. And if you've been in the challenge, then at least every 30 days, you get to put in work. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it, Georgia Beauty and Jennifer. Y'all are so amazing. Georgia Beauty says, trust me, Doc will have you in pro mode in no time with Photoshop. Thank you, my love. And I know because you are there. And Jennifer says she's telling the truth, y'all. Jennifer, that's my girl. She be cracking me up in class, y'all. All right, so I will see you all Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to get ready to rock and roll. Please get your energy together, get your snacks together, get your little something to drink or whatever you need because we're going to rock out for 4 days straight. No breaks, all gas. I love y'all, and I appreciate you dearly. And until next time, bye. Good night, y'all.